we have already discussed this, that what is blockchain, and now the thing is how blockchain is created, how this thing is created, right? Anyone can explain? Try. So see, the thing is, what you answered was one of the best answer I have heard, or what she answered. That's the motive, that I don't want anyone to control my hard-earned money, right? Today, bank can tell me, okay, so for example, demonetization happened, right? They had the power to do it. They did it, but the good thing is they said, no, don't worry. That 500 bill is still valid. You can change it. But what if they tell that no, go home. This I will not, change this 500. They have the power, right? But in this decentralized system, no central authority, no one can dictate terms, right? So how does a blockchain work? It's a step-by-step guide. So everyone from from here, everyone will explain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, what is happening?
User request transactions.
It means here there is A, there is B. So A requests a transaction that I want to send $10 to another address of B. What is the second step?
A block representing a transaction is created.
Again, we have discussed this, right? So when he announced that I want to transfer, then there are those certain checks that, okay, one block is created that will store this transaction, right? What is the step third?
The block is broadcasted to all the nodes of the network.
So here, I think the first technical term came is node, right? So what node is? Here, these data are stored at, somewhere, right? Someone is storing. Now there is no limitation. You can go and become a node. You can go that I want to become, and so I want to become a node. You can download all the previous data and you can start, creating blocks, right? You can start participating in this system. What you will need is, you will need computers and system. So earlier, when there are less participants, people used to participate. People used to create those nodes by simple computer. Now they have to get this high computational power computers, right? So where we are, third one, right? No, fourth one. So fourth one will be explained by Himanshu, right? So basically, I remember, almost 8 hours a day, he researched about what is happening in blockchain. So he knows inside out what is private blockchain. Don't ask him what is private blockchain, okay? Or he will say there is no such thing as called private blockchain. We'll discuss it later. So, Himanshu, tell them about.
Okay, so fourth point is all the nodes validate the block and the transaction. Now, what exactly does a bank do when you say that you have to send a transaction, right? Rather, let's talk about first what exactly is a transaction. Say Tusharika has to send $10 to you, right? So she makes a request to the bank that take $10 from my account and transfer it to you. The step involved is the bank will first check does she has that balance, okay? Then it will check the account number that she gave. So you are being represented by an account number, right? The beneficiary. They will check is the beneficiary number or code or whatever, is that correct? And then they will take their transaction fees and they will send that $10. that sending that $10, as it was explained earlier, it was basically the ledger being updated. No actual money was being moved. Now, in case of a digital system, that is a blockchain, or say in what basically in Bitcoin what happens, there is no central bank there, right? So how do you make that transaction valid? How do you make sure that the money that Tusharika is sending to you, you are receiving that? So that transaction has been taken and it has been put in a block. Now it has been broadcasted to the entire network. The network is what? The nodes. Who are the nodes? Everybody who is participating, right? Now what they will do after the block has been broadcasted, basically sent over to everybody on the network, because all the members or all the nodes, they keep on downloading the entire database, right? All the blocks, that is the data, right? They keep on downloading the data and checking it. That verification is basically this. They will take the Tusharika's transaction. They will see that, okay, her balance is correct. Your that address, that is or account number, in this case is called the address. Is it correct? And once they find that, okay, everything is cool, it is fine, they will say approved. Now, so suppose there are 100 nodes in the entire network, right? After say 50 to 60% people have said approved, you can have some degree of proof that this transaction has happened, but the fact is that the entire network, as they download and as they verifies that transaction. Okay, so that is what it basically means, that all the nodes validate the block and the transaction. So they not only validate the node, the transaction. So I don't know if that has been discussed, that a single block does not contain just one transaction. It contains say 10 to 15, 20, a lot many transactions. So suppose it's in real time what is happening, it's not just Tusharika sending you money. Tusharika may be sending you money, him money, he might be sending Tusharika money, alright? So suppose there are 15 to 20 different transactions. All those transactions together, they are bundled in that block. And when it is broadcasted to the network, all those transactions are verified. And once they have been verified, only then will they be, the next block will be mined. And that cycle will continue.
So, as we have discussed that this ledger, it will have multiple transactions, right? Now here, one interesting thing is, before going to these things are connected. There is one, what you can say, it's your, you can say homework or whatever you want to say. You have to find how, these things are verified, right? So, you have to have slight technical terms. There will be coming like hash functions, transaction hash and all. But it's your work to find out how these things are interlinked so that no one can change it, right? I told you that, let's say Himanshu has a node and he was the one who created this block. But after, blocks are added, even he cannot go back and change something in this. Why is this possible? That you have to find out.
I have a question.
Yes?
Is it the same hash function that is used in encryption?
So basically, again, if we go into that, then I think everyone will get bored. Don't think in terms of, right now, here, don't think in terms of technicalities, right? Here, what we are saying is, there is something is happening in blockchain. Something is happening here where even the person who created this block, so basically Satoshi Nakamoto created Bitcoin. So he was among the very people, in fact 2 people joined and created the first block.
No.
Sorry.
Okay, so Genesis block is the very first block of the Bitcoin blockchain. Okay. Now, by the property of the protocol itself, or the system itself, it is the very first one where everything goes back, and it is basically that is where the entire thing began. Satoshi Nakamoto mined the Genesis block, and by a property of how you define a Genesis block, it is not like any other blocks. Okay, it is not like the blocks that come afterwards.
Talk about the next block.
But the next block, first one, after that, again he was mining alone, but after say 70 or 60 blocks, another person joined. Okay, then.
So, but the question is it possible that Satoshi
Nakamoto,
Nakamoto
no,
who
even when he was mining alone, he could not go back and change it, because if anybody else who comes and joins later on, he will see that there was an attempt to change things. There's basically dispute in the data. That is the main thing that is there. So it is not like that you can't try and change it. You can.
Yes.
But
So the idea will be you have to find why is this happening? Why it's not possible to change this block which Himanshu created, right? One thing which I will let you know that he can change it. No doubt it's not that but he has to keep it with himself, right? Now when other people will see, there is this called the longest chain, right? Here, if he changes something, then there is this hash function called, there are 3 properties. 1 plus 2 will give 3, right? So those codes will not match, right? Now you have to again research on it, why it is not possible and what if you can change it, right? You have to find a way. Let's say if you can find a way that you can change it and still everything will be fine. So basically, if you can do it, you will be like
trillionaire if you can do it.
yes. Then again, but the thing is, when sometimes the method to approach a problem, is like, let's say if I can do it or not. And when you are not able to do it, you will learn in the process why I am not able to do it, right? When you try to do something, then you learn what are the steps preventing me from doing it. So again, there are tons of benefit of blockchain, right? And there, when each one of you were talking about blockchain, eventually everyone was talking about some benefit, right? So here, these are the few benefits: faster settlement,